In this video, we're going to evaluate composite functions with inverse trigonometric functions in the form of f of f inverse, or f of g inverse. It says if t is equal to negative 12 over 37, simplify the expression cosine sine inverse t. So first of all, sine inverse has a range restriction of negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. So we're going to write that down. Negative pi over 2 to pi over 2 is the range restriction for sine inverse. And then we're going to take this negative 12 over 37 and we're going to plug that in. So I'm going to write out a few different expressions or equations that I think will make sense for this problem. So I plug negative 12 over 37 in. Now, inverses are always finding you an output which is an angle. So I can say that theta is equal to sine inverse of negative 12 over 37. This is the angle. But if I say theta is equal to this, then really I can say that cosine of cosine theta by substituting theta for this expression here. So my goal here is to figure out what cosine of theta is. Well, I know that I can rewrite this piece as sine theta is equal to negative 12 over 37. So I'm looking for what cosine theta is, and I know that sine theta is actually negative 12 over 37. And I know that this is in either quadrants, this would be quads 1 or 4, and sine is positive in quadrant 1, so we're clearly in quadrant 4, so we're going to draw a quadrant 4 triangle, label theta here. So this theta is the same for each of these, both sine and cosine, right? The angle is the same. Hopefully you can see how I'm piecing that together. I said theta, this sine inverse is giving me theta, which means I have cosine theta. This really means I have sine theta equals this. So then this would be the opposite side. This is the hypotenuse. So I can say that that's negative 12 and that's 37. And I can go through figuring out what this side would be by doing the Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to say 37 squared is equal to negative 12 squared plus x squared. I call that x. So negative 12 squared, 37 squared. So if I subtract out 144 from what I just got, so this, when I subtract this over, I end up with 1225 is equal to x squared. So this gives you 144, this gave you 1369. I subtract that over, I got 1225. I do the square root of 1225. I get 35. So, I shouldn't say that. So I should say x is equal to 35. So what does that make cosine theta then? Well, cosine theta would be 35 over 37, which would be the solution for this problem. Okay, we're trying to evaluate cosine of sine inverse of negative 12 over 37, and we found that sine theta is negative 12 over 37, so cosine theta is 35 over 37.